Hi, what's going on, Giants fans? Making this quick video to talk about some unfortunate news. Shane Lemieux is out for the season. Today he had surgery on his left patellar tendon, per what the New York Giants had reported. It sucks. I mean, anytime a guy goes down, it sucks. But especially because of Shane, because of the depth on the O line, and he looked improved. First, like, subscribe. If you hate me by the end of the video, unsubscribe and leave a downvote. Simple. So he's out for the season, and that comes with Nick Gates being out for the season as well. And it kind of looked this way. He suffered that injury at the beginning of camp, battled through with practicing, comes out for week 1. He leaves after 3 series, and then we just don't see him again. They put him on IR, and credit to Shane. He's a tough guy, and he tried to battle through this and be that guy and fight through it all season long. But apparently, it's just it was the inevitable that he was going to have to get surgery on this. And just on Shane in general, I was very tough on Shane Lemieux last year because he was put into a starting role earlier than he needed to be in the NFL. It was a 5th-round draft pick who I liked as that draft pick, but he was thrust in there too early. But to Shane's credit, he looked a lot better this season. Now, it was very limited reps, but he looked like a different pass blocker. He looked like a better pass blocker than Will Hernandez, than Ben Bredeson. And he was moving his feet. He looked like he had corrected some of his issues. And he was always a good run blocker. He got credit for Andrew Thomas's success as a pass blocker last year, which just wasn't true. But as a run blocker, he was a big part of the run game getting better with putting him at left guard. They worked double teams well. He was a better puller than Hernandez. He was good in the run game, and he was only going to get better, And I liken it to, look at Nick Gates. You think Nick Gates was a good offensive lineman his first year in the NFL? No, but he got better, and Shane Lemieux was one of those guys that seemed like he was getting better. So it's a shame that they lose 2 guys who were ascending players in Nick Gates and Shane Lemieux. Now, what do the Giants go? Where do they go from here? Well, Ben Bredeson, Will Hernandez, you guys better be healthy because they have 0 guard depth right now. You got Thomas and Solder as the starters, Parrott as their backup, and then you have Matt Skura as the backup to Billy Price at center. Now, you could put Skura or Price at guard, but, Price is better as a center from what everyone said, and Skura, I don't think he's played guard in the NFL. So, I wouldn't rely on those guys. So, those 2 need to stay healthy, and even those 2 aren't the greatest options in Bredeson and Hernandez. I'm excited to see Bredeson grow throughout the year, but Hernandez kind of is what he is right now. He's kind of like that average. He's an average offensive lineman who's not living up to his draft position. So, the Giants They lost Jackson Barton off the practice squad, the Raiders claimed, which is interesting that the Giants are getting practice squad guys sniped from them. They added Corey Cunningham during camp, who's an offensive tackle. It was with the Patriots and the Cardinals, but he's an offensive tackle. They brought back Jonathan Harrison, but he's also a center. But I like Jonathan. Jonathan Harrison was a bright spot in the preseason. He performed really well, granted against backups. But honestly, Jonathan Harrison, the last time I watched him as a pro, which was 2019 for the Jets, he looked better than what Billy Price looked like for the Giants this past week and for Cincinnati in his start last season. So maybe that's there could be Jonathan Harrison or Matt Skura passing Billy Price if he continues to play like he did versus Washington. To his credit, it was a very short week, very short turnaround. Probably shouldn't have been put in that spot. And Washington has Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, who are 2 of the best defensive tackles in the league going up against. So don't give up total hope on Price yet. But Giants are very thin. Losing Gates and Lemieux were huge issues, and an offensive line that still wasn't good anyways. They've been better. Andrew Thomas doesn't look good, but losing Lemieux is a big deal. They also added Foster Sarell, another Ravens guy. He was a Stanford a UDFA out of Stanford who spent camp with the Ravens. He actually was a top 10 prospect coming out of high school, the class of 2017 at Stanford. Battled injuries and he just never turned into what his potential said he could be. But again, he's a tackle on the practice squad. I'm not expecting him to fill their needs. So they could go out and add a guard. I don't think they will. I think they're just gonna, because they have an extra spot on the roster now that Nick Gates was put on IR. I think they're just gonna promote C.J. Board. They used up his practice squad call up. So I think C.J. Board will be brought up, and they'll probably use practice squad calls up on Jonathan Harrison or Corey Cunningham, who's a big dude and maybe could play a little guard, even though he's played tackle his whole career. So I really do feel bad for Shane. He looked like an improved player, and I'm excited to see him back next year in preseason and get back healthy. So get healthy, Shane. Offensive line, they had to add 2 guys around cutdown day with Bredeson and Price, and they might have to be making some bottom of the barrel trades, or looking for guys on different practice squads or something, because they are very thin at offensive line. So if you like the video, like, subscribe. We got podcasts, film breakdowns, all types of stuff. The O-line reports, speaking of O-line, seems to be the most liked thing, so check out the O-line report. We appreciate you guys, and get better, Shane. Get healed up. Nick, you get healed up. I know you're going through surgeries and stuff now, so appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.